Hey, my name's Chiko. Last name's Huang. I am the Chief Strategy Officer for OMNI. I've been with the company since we started November of 2011. So, born in Laos, um, dad's Chinese, mom's Laotian. Dad moved to Laos and met my mom, got married. Five siblings in the family. And at the age of 5, I was born in Laos, of course. We left to Thailand. Um, I think they snuck out as political refugees, and then we stayed in a refugee camp for 5 years, and then made it over to the States as, with political asylum. Moved to San Francisco. That's where we landed because my aunt was there. So pretty much grew up in San Francisco from 9 to, of course, high school. Um, and after I finished high school, I went to college in the Bay Area. Decided that wasn't what I wanted to do, so I joined the Air Force. Did 4 years in the Air Force as an enlisted troop. Um, got out. Really wasn't the Air Force I was expecting because I was stationed at a DFAS finance center, not a real operational base. So I don't believe that I saw the Air Force. So got out, went and worked on the commercial side for about 6 months and had an old supervisor who I worked with at the DFAS who was working at LA Air Force Base. She asked me to come over and work with her there. So did that. Good experience. Thought it was a great move. And I've been at LA Air Force Base ever since 2003. Um, Moved around between IDS, which is an old company that I started out with, doing CCAR administration, and then moving on to the budget world. And then eventually in 2011, started OMNI with the guys we have here now, and it's been fun ever since. So that's where I am now. Was there a point that says, "Hey, being a defense contractor was the right thing for me," or was there anything that was driving it? I think being in the military, you do learn certain skills, a lot of skills that are very particular to the defense industry itself, right? And defense. You go to tech school, you go to specialized schools that, particularly in finance, most of that is really used within just the DoD. So definitely it was an easy transition to just move in that area. And you do have friends, you have a lot of a community you built around while you were in the service, that really made the transition more appealing into a DoD contractor. Um, so yeah, I would say that it was a comforting level to just move to that, moving to what you actually know well, rather than really seeking a new career. Not that I wanted to, because I was happy with my career and what I did in the Air Force. So it was just rather an easy transition to continue doing it. What was the decision to start OMNI? Two factors, or maybe a lot more, to be honest. But um, one of the biggest decision was, having worked for bigger companies, you start to gather things within yourself as to what you like to do different, right? And how you would like to be treated as an employee, and what contributions you want to make. So definitely one of the biggest decision was the need to maybe institute some of my own ideas as to how we treat each other, how we treat our employees. Um, Not to say that the others were completely in the wrong or inadequate. I just felt like there were other touches that could be done, right? I wanted to be able to work with the people I wanted to work with, friends, and have people that you can talk to comfortably. And being in the DoD sector, sometimes we tend to adopt the layers or the structure of the DoD and the military, which could be pretty rigid at times, right? So I think going with a smaller company was an appeal, right? Like we have a group of friends and a group of people who can just openly share our ideas or our knowledge. So that really was the biggest appeal. And of course, the other one was, there were some, I would say, maybe contractual issues going on with our other company that, there were uncertainty, not particularly with our customer, because our customer liked us and they, of course would have us back any day. They valued what we were doing, but from a contractual perspective, I don't think that company would have been able to sustain had they not overcome the hurdles they were going through. So, when forming OMNI, the biggest priority, at least from a philosophical standpoint and how we delivered our service, was understanding what our program managers needed. We were all functional experts in our particular area of expertise, which was contracting or finance. But we understood that our program managers are the ones who are bringing everything together. They're the ones who are leveraging the functional experts. And one of our philosophy was we need to understand what the program managers need in their day-to-day. PMP at that point became a big focus. Was we need to understand how our program managers are thinking and what they need to do. So we wanted to really develop our people in the area of program management so that they can fully understand how to deliver our expertise to fit within what the program managers needed. So from a business solution standpoint, that was our focus, was let's get our people trained, let's get our people the knowledge and the experience they need from a programmatic standpoint, and then how do we supplement or how do we support that from a contractual or finance perspective, looking in the lens of what a program manager needs. That really was one of our biggest priorities when we first started. So currently I work for the Space Force. We had transitioned from the Air Force in 2021 fiscal year, that is. So I work under the production core, under the space portfolio, which we would call Space Force, space production. I guess that's the portfolio. Some of the missions within production core are, of course, your GPS satellites, which services the DoD and also our civil needs as well. We have the SBIRS, which is a missile warning, missile detection satellite system. We have our ground systems such as OCX, and of course follow-on system OCX-3F. We also have a weather system, which is WSF, and of course that's terrestrial sensing space-based weather system, and a few more military communication satellite systems such as APS and AHF as well, and of course a lot of smaller projects. So the core itself is quite big, quite a big portfolio, and the objective of the core really is to continue the production post milestone B, what you would say for most programs, so that we can deliver those systems to IOC. My clients, I work particularly in the finance shop, the finance group. Great set of clients. I think that's what I like about my job, and particularly maybe what I like about OMNI is because our clients have known us for the past 10 years. We're a small company at SMC, But one of the most enjoying part about our job is that our clients know us and they trust us and they allow us to express and provide our recommendations, and they take it in. They understand that we're maybe one or two in certain projects, certain groups, but we've always, across the board, I think all our people have the trust of their clients and they have a good working relationship in that way. And that's probably because any one of us at LA Air Force Base or SMC, we don't hesitate to call and reach out to the next person who might understand something. And that next person, I have never experienced where they will say, I don't have time. They've always had the time to help their fellow OMNI people get the information or provide them how to get the information that they need. And I think that's what really has given us the successes that we have, and also the team chemistry between the people here. So yeah, growing a company organically, it's not hard. I don't believe it's hard. I don't, and I think it's easy to do, and we've been successful at it because, again, our clients understand and trust that we are providing our full dedication to the mission success. So when there are needs or there are issues and we provide recommendations, they take it. And whether that be, developing new tools or modifying a process, or maybe it's, truly understanding where the gaps are, where it does require additional manpower to address issues. So there really is no upselling. It's just, hey, here's a mission, here are the things we need to do. And whether that leads to organic growth, then that's great for the company. And that's really all it is. Well, being that I have two jobs, I would say. One is supporting the people at OMNI and the corporate activities. What excites me on that side is really ensuring that we continue to understand our customers, understand their needs, and continue to talk and develop about how we can build tools or frame the problem so that we can solve it, but not by us, but the larger OMNI community. There's a lot of things happening all the time. We have our idea incubators, we have focus groups to address certain customer issues, and we also work with a lot of our partners that we deal with from a business to business standpoint. So trying to understand how to resolve those things or how to get a solution to the customers that they need is exciting. But most importantly is like dealing with our people, like just giving them help or listening to them when they do need, right? Unfortunately, we don't always have all the time we want to interact with everyone. So that's the unfortunate part is, working with your direct customer and then having a corporate responsibility. You don't have enough time to really reach out to those within OMNI, right? I would like to do a lot more of that. And then of course on my direct customer side, what excites me is, there's a lot going on any given day, and you could jump on one project to another, and by the time at the end of the day, you would have been on 7 different things that were going on within that day. So it's exciting because you're always learning something new, always working on something new, and always talking to new people. That's the exciting part. And then when your customers are there at 7 or 8 p.m. and you're still on the phone with them trying to get something done, it feels good because there's a team effort going into it. And then at the end of the day, when we're done, we just say good night and congratulations and thank you for helping. It's a good way to close the day. Over the past 9 years, since us becoming OMNI, there's been good changes and bad changes. And those changes for the worse or for bad, we've learned from it. So I think that the fact that we're resilient enough and continue to learn from it has been very fruitful for the company and our people. One of the biggest things that I would say have made us successful is how our ability to really hire in and bring in the people who are entrepreneurial, people who are excited. Not all of us, when we work for defense contractors, are going to have fun projects, great clients, right? Sometimes it's the requirement of the contract and we fill it. And I think OMNI does create an environment where people can express their creativity and their entrepreneurial spirit when they're interested. There's always an avenue an outlet for them to really explore those things. I hope, I'm not sure where you're going to publish this, but if our people who are listening to this message, if there's anything that they're interested about, just give us a holler. I think that's what we're good at, is supporting those ideas that they have. I think, okay, one more thing. I think what also has made us successful or done well is that as small as we are, as I said, we're maybe 2, 3, in certain pockets of projects. We have been really good at listening to people when they say, hey, I want to explore and do something different in my defense contractor role. We have had a lot of flexibility with our clients, our primes, and that's probably largely due to because we have their trust to put people in different projects or careers path that they want. And I think people appreciate that, and I think that's really what has drawn people to OMNI. The biggest misperception of being a defense contractor, in my experience, having been a defense contractor for the past 20 years now, is that there is instability in that world. In again my 20 years, there's not been a time where I was concerned about not having a job. There's plenty of opportunities in this industry to continue to secure to be employed. If your contract ends, there's a follow-on contract. The work itself does not go away. You, as a person who are doing that job, if you're capable and you're excited, you're going to continue to have that job. If your customers believe in you and you're providing the quality consultancy that they're looking for, you're going to always have that job. And in some cases, if you don't enjoy doing that job, you get moved to another job that you're interested in. That, as I said, OMNI is really good at moving people when they say, hey, I want to explore something new. You're not contained to just that one thing. So having the flexibility to take on new jobs or move around obviously shows you that there isn't the idea or the concept of instability, because you have options. There's flexibility. That really is one of my biggest gripe about people who don't understand what being a DoD contractor is. We have people who work remote from various parts of the countries in projects across different coasts. That's a lot of flexibility. You don't get that type of flexibility if your job is not stable and if this industry is not stable.